The thing that really drives me is less about the cars and all the crazy lifestyle that I post, but more about the people that's involved. I care about helping people find out who they are. I think a lot of people struggle with that, and so I kind of use this as a platform to create happiness and positivity.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Michael Beer, and alongside of me is my co-host, Ed Fletcher. And we're here to make you guys next up. Ed, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. To say the least.
Yeah.
Our guest this week has an Instagram account called Keys to the Jungle. The owner of this account is Michael Dirr. Michael, how are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Michael, what do you have, about 220K on Instagram?
206,000 on
206.
Instagram.
206. Okay. So
5,655 posts.
That's crazy.
Which is ridiculous.
That's what we call consistency.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, Michael, let's just get right into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, Michael, what inspires you to be next up?
The thing that really drives me is less about the cars and all the crazy lifestyle that I post, but more about the people that's involved. I care about helping people find out who they are. I think a lot of people struggle with that, and so I kind of use this as a platform to create happiness and positivity.
I love that, actually.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we didn't say this before, but Keys to the Jungle is a car photography account. Posts literally so many pictures of really awesome and like insane, crazy super and hyper cars. And yeah, I figured I'd put that out there since we didn't say that before. But
so this kind of leads into our next question perfectly. Where'd your passion for cars come from?
Yeah, so I've really been into different types of cars my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Started with monster trucks with my family growing up, and muscle cars, and then obviously kind of progresses from there, right? So
kind of went up.
Family friend growing up, and he was a big car guy that got me into all this stuff, and once the Instagram started rolling, it kind of went from there.
Yeah,
that's
really
cool.
So when was how old were you when you were like, wow, I really want to like start doing Instagram and taking pictures, and where did even Keys to the Jungle come from? Where'd that name come from?
I don't know about the name. People always expect this crazy story, but I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I was taking a photography class, and I got to mix the cars and the photography stuff, and saw a couple guys up in the Northeast actually that were posting all these cool cars. So I'm like, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to come up with an interesting name, and
want
something generic. So Keys to the Jungle was born.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long history since there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's also a good name because there's nothing with underscores or dot periods or numbers in it.
Exactly.
It's like simple, which is good.
Plus, like if you look up keys, it's good for like search engine optimization too.
That's true.
It's perfect.
It's a really unique name, but I don't think a lot of other people have.
Exactly.
Like that.
So how old were you when you started Keys to the Jungle, and how old are you now?
I was 17 when I started, and I'll be 24 next month.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's what, 8 years and 5,500 posts, an average of like, I don't know what the math is, maybe like 600.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. It's a lot. It's like 600 posts a year, maybe.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
That's crazy. So that's like an average of almost 1.5 to 2 posts a day. That's nuts. That's insane.
Yeah, that's so how do you get all of that content? That's my question.
Oh my God, I've traveled so much. I've been to Connecticut, I've been to California, London, all parts of the world, really. Just kind of finding some of these crazy cars and did all sorts of events, and it's been pretty cool. So there's kind of a story behind each picture, but it's all for the love of cars.
Yeah,
right.
No, absolutely.
So do you just travel looking for car events, and then you just go take pictures, and that's how you kind of do it?
Yeah, it's a combination of like me going and seeing stuff and getting invited to things, and I'll go on behalf of companies for different things. So
that's
awesome.
really cool. So obviously traveling is expensive. Do the photos pay for the travel expenses, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it really ranges on a bunch of stuff. When I was younger, not really.
Mhm.
It took a while to figure out how to monetize this, and
Right.
Right.
social media was new to everybody. But while I was in college, I kind of had some freedom, so I was able to travel from North Carolina. I went to Wake Forest University.
Okay.
I was
Gotcha.
able to
Great
travel up
school.
and down the East Coast, because it was right in the middle of the East Coast. So I was able to do New York Auto Show, go down to Miami for something, and then from there, I had companies sponsor all sorts of different trips and whatnot. So
Right.
it's been pretty cool.
No,
Yeah,
that is really cool. It's good monetization for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, you travel everywhere and stuff, and Ed and I are from Connecticut as well, so we know Miller Motor Cars. Have you ever been?
Oh, a bunch of times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. And I think
now they have great inventory right now.
yeah. So actually, Ed and I,
we were gonna go yesterday, but it was too late in the day. We couldn't make it there.
yeah. So we're going this Tuesday to
Yeah.
Miller to check out. So what do they have, like a Centenario there or something crazy?
So that's Lamborghini Greenwich. That's actually different from Miller Motor Cars.
Really?
Yeah, and they actually have insane inventory. But Miller has a bunch of other stuff. If you go there, find a guy named Evan and tell him I said hi.
Okay, we will.
Well,
Evan
scream
is like-
Evan out loud. Someone will answer.
Yeah, Evan Seigler is literally like the beast of car salespeople. So,
Okay.
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 So he'll be noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
look out for him.
We'll scour West Putnam Ave for
Yeah,
Evan.
he's in the Pagani dealer.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So obviously on your Instagram, and for those of you who are listening, YouTube audio, go check it out. It's going to be linked in the description below.
Yes.
I mean, the content is ridiculous. It's off the charts. And you'll see on his Instagram, every 3 pictures is the same color. And then it switches. So 3 pictures, blue, the next 3 green, the next 3 orange, that sort of thing. So that's kind of crazy and consistent. So like, where did that come from?
Oh man, I really appeal to OCD people. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
Let's see. When did this start? This started in. There's actually 2 levels of themes to this, which you'll notice if you pay attention. So it started in 2017. There we go. And it's off because I've only posted once today. I post 3 times a day. But so back in 2017, I started posting 3 of the same color, which means I had to start photoshopping stuff to make it fit.
Right.
Because I don't post like the same car every 3 pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Me in the banana suit. And from there, if you notice, like all of one row is pointed one direction, another row they're kind of centered, and then the other row they're pointed the other direction.
Wow.
Yeah.
When it all fills out in a row, everything's pointed towards the center. So like OCD people absolutely love that.
Right. And that's really cool.
It takes a whole nother level of effort, creativity to get there.
Yeah.
Which means I need all sorts of content. So
yeah, you got to post them in the right order.
So wait, so go to this orange one really quick. So for those of you who aren't necessarily understanding, once this picture, that picture, and this picture are all in the same row, this one's going to be pointed this way towards me, and then this one's going to be pointed this way, and this one will be in the middle. So everything's pointed towards the middle. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Last year, and it makes it a lot harder to deal with content. But
yeah, I bet.
So, how did you learn to Photoshop?
It was all self-taught, really, and I'm still not even all that great at it. So, I've started doing stuff in Adobe Lightroom, and then from there I went to Photoshop. I kind of mix and match the 2 of them.
Okay.
Like, I've watched a few YouTube videos, but most of it's just like experimentation with stuff.
Right.
Once you know the basic features, you can kind of explore with different things and see what's doable. But I definitely should probably learn a bit more about it. With my Photoshops, I don't aim for it to be super professional because my content's very casual compared to other people. And so because of that, there are all these rendering artists and all these other people that do like really, really cool work. And I'm like not trying to be those guys. So I try and make it look like something you'd see on the road that like, and then there'd be like a little error here in the photo and you'd be like, All right, that's a Keys photo.
Yeah,
So
that is really cool.
Which is good. That makes you a little bit more unique.
I mean, so one thing too is like, obviously Photoshop was self-taught to you. Can you get some workshops in college? Absolutely.
Probably.
But I mean, you have to apply it at some point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting how that was self-taught to you.
It's also
YouTube
nice.
has everything.
That's what I was gonna say. You can learn anything on the internet these days. It's just a matter of finding out what you don't know, and then you can figure out how to do said things. Which is
so you obviously you've been consistent with the 3 pictures for a long time. Was that a big part of your growth? How I guess what I'm trying to say is how fast did you grow?
It's been somewhat consistent. At the beginning, it was like 10,000 followers every 6 months.
Okay.
But what really accelerated it was towards the end of the time I was in college, when IGTV came out. Like video content just blew up. I was getting a few hundred views every video and like a couple thousand followers a week. So it was kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I can't even fathom getting a couple thousand followers a week. I mean, that's that's so many eyeballs that are watching you. Does that ever freak you out or no?
A little bit, yeah. Like I have to be a role model for people, you know.
Yeah,
right.
I try and keep my content as clean as possible. Like, you know, I don't post like really messed up stuff at all.
Yeah.
I have to be careful with what I say and what I do, and you know, sometimes I'll throw things in there that how do I put
little risky.
That's with the psychology of my haters.
Yeah. No, I mean, so like that's the thing is like with great, what's the saying? The response with great power
from Spider-Man,
something like that. Yeah.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, that thing. I mean, you have so much influence, but there's just so much responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
So which I think is really cool. You got a favorite piece of content or your coolest story? Favorite person you met, something like that?
Well, favorite content and favorite story are 2 different things.
Okay.
I actually have a tie between my favorite 2 pieces of content.
Okay.
One, I got to shoot the 2 venenos that are on Long Island. So, and I did that with Stradman. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
So that one was really fun. That picture came out cool. But my favorite picture actually was of a Pagani Wire BC in Boston.
Okay.
Just got a really cool picture hanging out the side of a car. So that was kind of fun. And then in terms of story, I actually do have a really funny story. So since you guys are in accounting and finance, I had a finance exam on a Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m., which is the dumbest thing in the world.
That's brutal.
I finished the exam, went to my friend's place. We watched a few videos for a couple hours and then hopped on a 6 a.m. flight to California, and we went to Cars and Copters the next morning.
Wow.
So, yeah. So like, you know, people are like, oh, how do you get all this content? I'm like, it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Like I didn't sleep that night. I slept 2 hours on the plane, and then I went and saw 30 hypercars the next morning.
Right.
When everyone else rolled out of bed and they're like, oh, should I get breakfast this morning? Like, oh, how was the exam?
True.
And I'm like, I'm out in California. Like,
dude, I'm in a whole different state.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I mean, like,
awesome.
Like I say, I want to live that lifestyle, and I do. I think it would be
I definitely want to, at least for a little while, and then we'll probably get bored of it. But
I mean, I just I just want to go nonstop. You know, I don't want to stop because like
I would love to get on a 6 a.m. flight. Honestly,
when you like keep going like that, it just like sharpens your brain so much that like when you aren't doing that, you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah. I can sleep less. I can do more. Like right now, I'm actually in the middle of driving across the country.
Really?
So, so I'm on day three of my trip, I guess.
Where did you start?
So I started in Florida. I'm moving to California. So
wow.
What's the path you're taking there?
So I'm in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
I'm actually with my best friend from college.
Nice.
I'm off to Texas. In Texas for almost a week.
Okay.
This is the weird part. I go over to New Mexico, up to Denver, down to Arizona, in Scottsdale, and then over to California.
Wow, that's really
awesome.
Cool.
Not exactly the straightest of path,
not
but
at all.
Yeah, I just have to backtrack in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm driving in a Tesla, so it makes it that much more like I have to think about where I'm going.
Right, because you got to charge.
Yeah.
It's not like it can just stop and get electrons here, you know. So
Yep. That's really cool.
So, and just to go back really quick, for those of you who don't know what a Lamborghini Veneno is or who the Stradman is, the Lamborghini is what, is there only 3 in the United States?
Yeah, well, there's only 4 made.
Only 4 made. I think there's 3 in the United States.
So let's see. 1, 2, 2.
Only 2? Okay, so there's only 2 in the United States, which is crazy to photograph both of them on Long Island Sound.
Yeah.
So that's nuts. And the Stradman is a famous YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He has like what, 1.5 million on
got over 3 million now.
What's up?
He's what?
He got over 3 million subs now.
Okay, so he has over 3 million subs, off the charts. I've actually stood
he does.
within a 20-foot radius of the Stradman at Dream Ride in Connecticut.
Yeah, I was there.
Yep, that was cool. And just for those of you who don't know who that is, and the last question, Michael, was there any moment where you were like this sucks? Like, what am I doing?
Like, I don't want to do this
All
anymore.
I took a 2-month break last year.
Really?
Yeah, I needed to just like mentally reset during the pandemic and everything. You know, a lot of people, they got like really down, and like even me, like, you know, I was just like, I need to check in with myself and be like, is this something I really want to pursue? You know, the hate comments, they can get to you sometimes. And then I just realized, like, you just have to treat all that with empathy and compassion, because those people, they don't know what it's like in your shoes.
No, they have no idea.
You know, there's lots of times where I'm like, you know, this is tough to keep going. You know, I'm not a big guy either. I'm 5'1". So like, you know, people like to comment about it all the time. I personally love it. Like, I love being small. I can get in whatever car I want. I can dominate. I can go seek, you know, like, it's easier to do all sorts of different stuff except reach the top shelf. But like, you know, like, sometimes the comments on social media are really tough to deal with, and you have to be really, really mentally strong to get through that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, the people that, you know, I'm sharing this content to are more important than me sometimes, and I have to make sure that I'm there for everybody else.
Right.
It's a group effort to move forward.
Yeah, we've talked about social media toxicity on a couple of our previous episodes, I think.
So like and this happens all the time on YouTube too, right? With like influencers and stuff. But like, a view is a view, you know, an impression is an impression to me anyway. Like, they could say whatever the heck they want to say. Yeah. But they're helping the algorithm when they're looking at the picture, you know?
That is true too.
So
I've never understood hate comments, really. Like, what? I don't know. Maybe I'm very fortunate that I cannot understand it, because I
think a lot of it is like, people, you know, some people are very direct about their hate comments, but some people, they just say things that are taken out of hand, and, you know, it looks like it's a hate comment, but really they have good intentions, and they just don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Really bad at communication. So
yeah,
you know, it's something new that people have to learn and deal with. So
right, especially with a big following, there's always just going to be more. As you continue to grow, there obviously will be more good things and more bad things, but
hopefully the good outweighs the bad.
Hopefully the good outweighs the bad.
And it always does. It really always does.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's all we have, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Michael, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. And guys, again, link in the description below. His website's there too, whatever you want.
Instagram, website,
everything. And Michael, again, thank you. And thank you. Go ahead.
Anyone that reaches out and checks out my Instagram, shoot me a DM and I'll send some love over to your way. So
cool.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Love that.
And again, everybody who's been supporting us throughout this whole thing, thank you guys.
Yeah. Means a lot.
And we hope to make you guys next up.